Ciao everyone and welcome back to another episode of Learn Italian with Songs. Today we are going to talk about Cuore Nero by Elodie. And let me tell you already, this is nothing new because this is actually the third song we do from the same album. And in fact, I am talking about the album Mi Ami, Mi Odi. Sounds familiar? Probably, because in fact we talked about the single Mi Ami, Mi Odi by Elodie, which is a little bit the core of the album. But there is another song we talked about. In fact, it is another single which comes from Sanremo 2025, and in fact it is Dimenticarsi alle 7, Elodie's entry for Sanremo 2025. So at this point, you should know pretty much the point of the album and thus this song. Little hint, Cuore Nero means black heart, and of course is going to be explained in the lyrics. It is a very recent song. In fact, Mi Ami, Mi Odi as an album was released this year, 2025, just like the other two songs that we analyzed. And the whole album is pretty much about guess what? Yes, we need to talk about toxic relationships at least once per week, otherwise we are not happy, so there we go. In fact, Cuore Nero, just like Dimenticarsi alle 7 and Mi Ami, Mi Odi, is talking about a love story, but not an unhealthy one at all. There is, however, not much to be said on the content, and it makes sense because, of course, each track of the album tells the story from a different point of view or in different nuances. So it makes sense that in the end the topic is pretty much always the same. So, also concerning the lyrics, there won't be too much to say on the lyrics because they are pretty clear, to be honest. They are quite straightforward. And being a classic pop song, it's also quite repetitive because we have a first verse that is not that long, a pre-chorus and a chorus, a second verse that is a little bit more long than a little bit longer than the first verse, and then we have once again the pre-chorus and the chorus, and then a brief outro. But even the outro is a repetition of something said already in the rest of the song. So, without further ado, let's check out this first verse. Hi chat, how's it going? Quando inizierà lo show? When the show starts. However, in Italian we use the future. Con le luci addosso, with the lights on, not like on, with the lights on me, on us, on you, whatever. Io spero non finirà. I hope it won't end. Che restiamo chiusi, ma in gabbie dorate. That we stay locked up, but in golden cages. So, I hope we won't end up locked up, but in golden cages. E se mi resterà soltanto l'ultima frase, and if I have only the last sentence left, vorrei parlarti d'amore. I like to talk to you about love. Però so che non è chic, but I know it's not chic. So che non te l'aspettavi da una così. I know you didn't expect it from someone like that, someone like this. So, when the show starts, literally will start, because as I said, in Italian we use the future tense. Now, what is this show? It can mean the relationship, at least the start of the relationship, or generally the dating phase, but basically all that concerns the beginning of the relationships, either the beginning or the dating phase. With the lights on us. Okay, so we have a show, we have lights on. Why? It could be a reference to the fact that Elodie is one of the most famous Italian artists, so of course her private relationships are exposed to the public, to the audience, because privacy for VIPs is always an issue. But it could also be a reference to the fact that nowadays pretty much everyone has access to your relationship, mainly because it is a lot about showing. Actually, I don't know in the rest of the world, but at least in Italy, there is a bit this discussion on the fact that many people are more pretending acting in a relationship than actually being in that relationship. So it could also hint at that. And in fact, she says, I hope it won't end up, so our relationship implied probably, in a situation where we end up locked up but in golden cages. So the golden cage, gabbia dorata, is a concept that you can find both in Italian and in English, which metaphorically represents a situation where you are stuck, the cage, but from the outside it seems something positive. That's why the golden, just like having like a little bird in a cage, in a golden cage, you say, oh, yes, the little bird is in the cage, but at least it is a luxury cage, so it's good. Spoiler, actually it is not. But the metaphor is that, so a situation, an unpleasant, a negative situation, seemingly positive from the outside because of the comfort you have in that unpleasant situation. And then she says, and if I have only one sentence left, I'd like to talk you about love, but I know it's not chic, so probably I know it's not trendy, I know it's not something people do anymore, and probably from someone like me, so probably it is a reference to the fact that usually Elodie as a persona presents herself as someone strong, so maybe someone not forcibly romantic, okay, not the classic woman as told in fairy tales and whatnot. She's more on the strong, independent woman spectrum. So she's saying probably the fact that I want to talk about love, even if it's not trendy, it's not something you would expect from me, but it's something that I would like to do. And here probably the hint is also the fact that nowadays, and that's why I was talking about what show might mean, that nowadays relationships are very much for the showing that than for substance, okay? So probably an authentic love, it is not trendy, is not something common nowadays. And then we have the pre-chorus. Ancora stringimi. Hold me again. Bruciasse il mondo adesso. If the world were burning now. Ancora stringimi. Hold me again. Se sbatto nei tuoi occhi come spigoli. If I hit in your eyes like sharp edges, tu salvami, save me. Che a forza di bere petrolio, since by dint of drinking oil, like not the olive oil, the oil like the petroleum, Mi sono fatta il cuore nero. I've made my heart black. I need to drink because otherwise I'm going to lose my voice. Even here at this point we have our good old 30 degrees. So, as she was saying in the first verse, even if you don't expect it, I'm actually a romantic person who wants to talk about love and wants and craves authentic love. So hold me, because of course the idea of holding someone in an embrace, it's something about intimacy, being close. Even if the world were burning in this precise moment. And then she says, if I hit, if I crash in your eyes like sharp edges, basically in Italian, what we call spigoli, singular spigolo, which is not la spigola. This is the masculine because lo spigolo, it's the sharp edge on the corner. You know where when you smash against that portion of the wall or of a table, and in Italian you would say a bestemmia. Well, in that is a spigolo. La spigola, however, is a fish. So this is one of those cases where we have the meaning of the word changing according to the gender. Lo spigolo, the sharp edge on the usually on the corner. La spigola, it's a type of fish. Now, what does it mean that usually the eyes, when we are talking about relationships, romantic love, love in general, is something safe. In Italian we say gli occhi sono lo specchio dell'anima. Eyes are the mirror of the soul. Because it's something where you connect with the person. So, here what Elodie is saying is, since I went through some shit, since I dealt with a lot of things that hurt me, now I struggle with intimacy. And look at you in your eyes, which is probably the classic representation of intimacy between lovers. It's like hitting a sharp edge, so something painful. Because I got hurt, I still want to love, but I need patience. I need someone taking care of me, because I want to love, but I also need time to recover. How do I know this? Because she said, since by dint of drinking oil, petrol, I've made my heart black. So, by being caught in toxic dynamics, toxic behaviors, toxic environment, I blackened, like I ruined, I spoiled my heart. Usually, having a black heart is a picture of a heart that an image of a heart getting rotten, getting corrupted. Okay, and of course here the play on words is with the oil, because the oil is black, spoils, destroys. It is a very dangerous substance, and protagonist of many natural disasters during accidents when it is transported. And it is the representation of all the bad and unhealthy relationships our artist, our protagonist went through. So pretty much the core of the for once the relationship, the toxic relationship mentioned in the song is not the current one, the one going on, okay? It is referring to past toxic relationships. So basically, this is a song pretty much dedicated to a future new healthy partner. And it is basically a request of mercy and patience because, yes, I want to improve, I want to heal, but I'll need time and I will need forgiveness. Okay. I will need tenderness. I will need comprehension. And then we have the chorus. E scende una lacrima di plastica, and a plastic tear falls. Ci fosse un modo, io la cambierei. If there were a way, I would change it. What is it? Life. Because in the next verse we have, ma a volte questa vita mette i brividi, but sometimes this life gives you the shivers. Uccidimi. Kill me. So, as I was saying, here the problem is not the ongoing or the future possible relationship, is whatever happened in the past. So we have la lacrima di plastica, the plastic tear. Plastic, so something fake, but also something that is deeply related to the concept of oil, because of course plastic is a product of the refinery of oil, petrol, okay? So, it is also something fake, usually. Something in plastic is something cheap, something fake. So, even a tear is fake because the point is, like the artist is saying, I am so damaged that even my feelings are compromised. I can't even feel properly, authentically, because I built walls around me, and I closed I closed into myself. So even the tears you might see, they might be fake because this is a defense mechanism that I had to put on to protect myself. And in fact, she says, if there were a way, I would change this life, but sometimes it gives shivers. This time not to be meant as a positive way, like excitement or something positive, but something that gives you fear. So here are the fear shivers. And I am suffering so much due to all this pain that I ask you to kill me. And then we have the second verse. Quando inizierà lo show, when the show starts, which is the same start of the first verse, prendi tutto ciò che vuoi, take everything you want. Spero ti aiuterà. I hope it will help you. A sfondare i muri e le porte blindate. To break through the walls and the armored doors. Delle mie verità. Of my truths. 21 grammi di anima persi così. 21 grams of soul lost like this. Buttati via per chi non mi merita. Thrown away for those who don't deserve me. Bruciati in un secondo. Burned in a second. E ho capito per sempre, and I understood forever, che forse è per niente. That maybe it's for nothing. A forza di bere petrolio, since by dint of drinking oil, mi son fatta il cuore nero. I've made my heart black. Now here she's saying, You can use whatever tool, whatever works, and if it helps you to breach into the walls I built to protect myself, so if you can manage to breach through my defense mechanisms, like, do it, take it, do whatever it takes, because you'll have to go through a lot to stay by my side. And then she says, 21 grammi di anima persi così, 21 grams of soul lost like this. This is a reference to a pseudoscientific theory elaborated by Duncan McDougall, who hypothesized that souls have physical weight and attempted to measure the mass lost by a human when the soul departed the body. So basically, this mad lad weighted the bodies of alive people, then he waited for them to die and got the weight again. And according to his theory, our soul is something physical and it weighs 21 grams. Of course, that's not true, but it is a bit of folklore, let's put it like that. And so, and of course, our good old Elodie had to fit the metrics of the lyrics. So this soul was thrown away, so like ruin, gave away, for someone who didn't even deserve it. Burned, so thrown away, burned. And I understood that forever, so you know when you say that you will love someone forever, well, it's for nothing, so it's useless, it's fake, doesn't really work. And then she repeats again that by dint of drinking oil I've made my heart black. And then we have basically the repetition of the pre-chorus and the chorus. Ancora stringimi, bruciasse il mondo adesso, ancora stringimi, se sbatto nei tuoi occhi come spigoli tu salvami. Hold me again, if the world were burning now, hold me again. If I hit in your eyes like sharp edges, save me. Since by dint che a forza di bere petrolio mi son fatta il cuore nero, since by dint of drinking oil I've made my heart black. Then we have once again the chorus. E scende una lacrima di plastica, ci fosse un modo io la cambierei, ma a volte questa vita mette i brividi, uccidimi. And a plastic tear falls. If there were a way, I would change it, but sometimes this life gives you the shivers. Kill me. And then, once again, we have the repetition of che a forza di bere petrolio mi son fatta il cuore nero. Since by dint of drinking oil, I've made my heart black. And that was the lyrics of Cuore Nero by Elodie. Now, if Mi Ami Mi Odi was in the middle of the relationship and Dimenticarsi alle 7 is about the breakup, Cuore Nero is a bit what happens next. So, I got hurt, my heart, my feeling, my empathy, everything got spoiled because of these bad experiences I had. And now I have to recover. So I will need someone. My next partner will need to be kind. I need kindness. I need someone understanding the situation. And there is this thing about drinking this oil. Now, I don't know if this is an yeah, I mean, we don't know because in this case is in an open ending. So there is hope and there is desperation in this song. So it is one of those situations where there is the open ending, okay? And in our case, we can hope, which makes sense because we said it with another song. I don't remember which one right now, but there was this whole point of what is going to happen, and here both ending are viable. I can end up staying alone, like there are several endings. The loneliness ending, I'm going to end up alone because I can't recover from past relationships. The toxic relationship ending is that I am going to end up once again in the same old show, in the same old repetition, and I'm going to end up just like in another toxic relationship. Or the third option, that is the one, of course, we are manifesting for, is I am going to find someone who is going to be kind, maybe who is going to heal with me, and we're going to heal together. Of course, always manifesting the good ending, and pretty much that's also the point. It's a little bit on us, the ending, because these could be everyone. This could be us. It's up to us to choose the good ending, to make the good ending come true, right? And heal our black heart, il nostro cuore nero, and stop drinking that oil, that petrol, okay? Not petrolio. Stop drinking. Petrolio is not good for your health. It's not good for the health of the environment. Stop. And this image, I don't know if it is because I am Italian that I have this image in my heart, in my mind also, which is the mandare giù. Okay, in Italian, mandare giù is a colloquial way to say swallow, okay? And it is used in several expressions to say that you have to deal with it. So, for example, deal with a hard situation and not make a fuss about it. So we just swallow it, right? Yeah, too many calories, not worth it. So I have this image of keep swallowing. In English, the closest image I can give you is eating shit, but in Italian is more about drinking. Okay, the image, but it's pretty much this point about drinking oil. Usually, it is used the idea of poison, because normally this idea of drinking something toxic for yourself it is going to ruin you is often implying poison in it. Here Elodie went with another image that works very well in the economy of the song, which is once again the oil, the petrol. So turtles. So once again, same concept, but Elodie style. Okay. So that said, let me know in the comments what is the ending you are manifesting and what you think about this song. Also, Don't forget to let me know in the comments what songs you want me to put on the magic list of the song analysis. That said, grazie everyone for watching and arrivederci.